Hi, it's Rebecca Empathic Crow. I was having some technical difficulties. We are going to go old school. I have already pulled 3 cards, well, pre-shuffled, and 3 came out. But before that, I just want to say I hope you had a wonderful holiday. I wish you a happy new year. I hope that 2026 is gentle on you. Remember, no resolutions. We work on things that we're focusing on. Like my focus is finding balance, learning what balance is. I've got it tattooed on my body. Creating more for myself instead of just encouraging and teaching it to others. Grounded and Glowing is going to be a part of that. I will be finishing the recording of the modules soon. There is the workbook that's already finished. And it's about being able to be more mindful, be more present for ourselves, especially when we're highly empathetic, compassionate, and caring people who often we overdo things. My brain is wanting to shut down. Please excuse me. But we overperform. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. We overperform, and we tend to put people in our lives in front of us and put ourselves on the back burner. And it may seem like a noble thing, but it completely dysregulates our nervous system. But we won't stay on that. So again, thank you for being here, and thank you for sharing in this journey. If you want private readings, definitely go to the website to book. That's empathiccrow1111.com. I am going to look through the website and look at other ways to integrate booking in the future, now that I have time to do that. I'm so excited. But remember, any of the readings here on YouTube, they are offered with genuine kindness and authenticity. However, they are general readings. So that means that some things may hit. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, but not all of it is going to be a message that you feel like is for you, and that's okay. That's why there's the private readings, because that is personally tapping into your energy. So what I was asking is what needs to be the focus for the collective, and that can be anyone who is watching this for 2026. And the interesting thing is some of the same cards that came out in a reading I did January 22nd, 2025 are coming out. And I did that from the Modern Witch Tarot. Today I'm using the Crow Tarot by N.J. Cullinane. And I have a few other decks that we may use as oracle clarifiers. So I will show you in just a second what those are, and I will try to put up timestamps. I know I say that, sometimes I'm able to, sometimes I'm not. I should be more able to now. So we'll see if anything else is coming out before I start clarifying this, because I'm being called to clarify it in a similar way to one of my last videos. All right, the Fool, that makes sense. And on the bottom of the deck, we've got the Knight of Swords, and I'm also going to take the Six of Wands. All right, so I'll go ahead and tell you kind of what has come out so far. We have the first card coming out was the Seven of Wands. This was one of the cards that I had mentioned had come out in the January 22nd, 2025 reading. Today is January 2nd, 2026. Readings are timeless though. Because I have had to re-record this a few times due to the technical difficulties, if I've already said that, I apologize. So with this Seven of Wands, I feel like this is a different energy than the 2025 reading though, because I am seeing you as the crow up here, whereas before it was kind of feeling like there was somebody trying to take control. And I'm feeling like this is you stepping away from the fight, like the energy of the Five of Wands, where you feel like he's standing up on the edge, and like, it's like he feels like he's in a battle, whether he is or not, because change is hard. And with this Seven of Wands, I feel like it's you saying, you know what? 2025 was a battle. Like, that's what I'm seeing, hearing, feeling. 2025 was a battle, and I'm tired of it. I don't want to be in this game anymore, because this no longer looks like a competition or a fight or people trying to come at you. This is like the game that you're pushing to the side. It's really taking your power back. Like, even as I look, all these wands, you see they're a different color, and then you have this wand up here that is kind of this orangish wood. So with orange, we think of that sacral chakra, being able to be creative, being able to get into play, being able to allow yourself to feel passionate about the things that you do, to really feel invested in what you're doing, to allow yourself to just, what am I saying? It's just like this overwhelming emotion of just bringing things back home, bringing things back to yourself. And with that sacral chakra and with the wands, that fiery, passionate energy. So you want to find a balance, but at the same time, this is taking your power back. The Emperor was in that last reading as well. And with that, it was from the Modern Witch Tarot. And I was talking about how, and that's Lisa Sturl, I believe. I was talking about differences that I saw in this one versus the other. Like the other one, this goat's head is up on the throne of the Emperor. Whereas with this one, it's interesting because you have the sword laying on top of the goat's head. You have the crow, the Emperor, standing on top of the sword that's on top of the goat's head. And then, you know, this feather necklace around it, which this card you don't see as much. There is a feather here, but one of the sword cards, which one is it? I think it's the Seven of Swords. In this deck, you see feathers around the crow just kind of flying. And I talk often about how sometimes when you've had to fight is not the word I want to say, but stand up for yourself, taking back your power, things like that, you may feel like you've lost some of yourself. And like when things feel like a battle, and even when we stand up to others, whether it's friends, family, whatever, we set those boundaries, you may feel like you're losing pieces of you. But this is showing that those pieces, it's not that they're lost. It's that you no longer need them. They're still there. They're still a part of you. They're still a part of your journey and what happened, but you no longer need them. I've not read these cards in this way before. I'm an intuitive reader, so I do have education, knowledge, background on the meanings of the cards as they were meant to be, but at the same time, each reading for each person is just different. I mean, it's just stark to me, the difference between this and the January 2025 reading and the 2 card decks. Like the clouds are behind him and they're even parting in a way. We don't necessarily see the sun coming through, but we have all the mountains and everything, and it's not that he's gotten out of that situation. He's not out of the mountains. The clouds are still there, but we have like this gold that's just shining through, and then the red, that root chakra, grounded. So grounded and glowing has been coming up in the things that I've been trying to record, whether I post them or not. And I am not a salesy person, so I tend to crack up when it comes up and I'm like, yeah, my brain's making the connection. I get it. So again, this still feels like taking back your power, because like I said, although these 2 cards came up in that January 22nd, 2025 reading, the meanings that came through were different. There's a quieter strength that's coming through right now. This crow is just on top of the lion's mouth. The mouth of the lion is just yawning. And I look at those flowers, and it's like a new beginning. It's being able to understand that you are still strong, and you may still need that strength that you had to for the battles, the conflict, the difficulties. I'm seeing like ocean waves, just like one breaks and then it feels like here comes the next one. It's coming in fast. And understand that you can create some of that slowdown, because you're not engaging in these battles anymore. You may not have even wanted to before, but I feel like sometimes it felt like they were right at your door. You didn't feel like there was anything that you could do. But at the same time, using that discernment of what you choose to engage in. You can't change everyone. Not every lion is going to allow that crow to sit on its nose, whether it has any issues that the crow could help it with or not. This can be a relationship that's mutually beneficial, but at the same time, that lion is not necessarily going to be so docile. And your inner lion is not always going to be so docile, nor will anyone else's, but you don't have to engage with that. You get to choose. Like the flowers to me are showing like you've blossomed, it's a new beginning, and you get to choose. This reading is coming through different than a lot of my readings before. Like I'm getting so many meanings coming through for each card. And I feel like that's partly because there are different paths that people are taking. And that still creates this difficulty with this Seven of Wands, because whereas before I feel like there was the lion's roar, like you were trying so hard to help other people, to help them see where things weren't helpful to them, that things were creating issues. And then over time, it's like, you know what, you can play your games, you can do what you want to do, and yes, it may create problems, but I can't stand here and try to stop you from doing it, because you're going to keep doing it. So with the Chariot, you're taking a different path. And I'm seeing the very first thing, one, we've got the moon right here. So you've already seen where things have been hidden, they're illuminated, and you may be even seeing more things. But at the same time, you're choosing your path. Some people, some things that you've loved, you may not be able to bring along with you, but you know that you've got to fly on this path. You've got to take this journey. And then we have the wreath right here, which I had said I'll take the card off the bottom, not even looking at this when I said it, which is the Six of Wands. And when I see the wreaths, I think of the wreath and the Six of Wands. That is like that celebration, that victory. So with this Chariot, understand that there may be some anxieties, there may be some things that you can't predict, you 11:11 on the clock, that you can't necessarily know when you are starting this journey or as you're moving forward, because I feel like you've already started. Excuse the hiccups. But at the same time, you push forward. Because like this Emperor that's standing on this sword, you've already sorted through your thoughts. You already know what you need to do. With this red, you've already gotten grounded. And that yellow, you're balancing that solar plexus. You're letting go of some of those anxieties and worries. This moon here, that the journey is going to present things that you may not have thought of or that you may not expect. But understanding you've already been through this space where you were in a lot of those unexpected things. I think for all of us, 2020 brought some of that. 2025 definitely brought even more. Like, it's been a lot. Chaos is the word coming into my mind. There has been a lot, and it's not always easy to gain that strength through trial by fire is what I'm hearing, but sometimes it happens. But just understand that you are moving away from that, but you have to choose it. You have to choose it, and that leads into the Seven of Cups. So with the Seven of Cups, there are lots of options here. There are lots of things that you can look for. And notice we've also still, again, got this victory wreath. So there are some good things coming. But we have other things that may not be as good. We've even got a lotus flower right here, which is that growing up through the mud. So some of these options may be more difficult. And some of them, even when they are good, may require more than what you can see. I am thinking again about that moon that is in this Chariot card. But it's your choice to make. No one else can make it for you. You may make a choice because you feel like somebody would appreciate it or they think it was a good choice for you. But at the end of the day, if you are an adult and I put my videos on no kids, you know, the responsible thing to do, even though I try not to use bad language and create content that's clean, friendly, you know, at the same time, you have a choice. Like, there's mountains here. We've got a snake, a crow's skull. I can't fully tell what's at the bottom here. The heart, the wreath, all of those things. So you may not even like the options that you have, but you have the choice. It is yours to make. There's a card over here that is hiding. Oh yes, the Fool. So with this Fool, it's letting go of all of that that's happened before and just trusting the journey. With this Chariot, you could go into that moon and worry about the things that you can't see, worry about all these choices, staying stuck in the choices. So then the Chariot would be in reverse because you're not moving forward, even if you feel the push. But with that Fool energy, it's taking that leap of faith. It's the start of the journey. The Fool is 0 in the tarot. And there are still lotus flowers down here because it's not necessarily going to be easy. But at the same time, look, he's sitting on this log. So if you don't take a step forward, you're stuck on the log. I saw a video yesterday, and I've seen this in person at Myrtle Beach a few years ago with my husband, where the turtles were laying on the log and one would move and the log starts moving and they're trying so hard to stay on it. But there's this one turtle that's just a little bit bigger and they're rocking it even more. So if you stay on the log, you may feel like you're stable for a little while, but at some point that log is going to start turning. whether it's because wind, water is rising, another animal or another person or somebody is getting on that log with you, metaphorically, of course, or maybe you're standing on a log and you're going to fall off. But there are things that are coming in. Even though these trees are bare, we have this like fern leaf up here. I see that as growth. I'm sure there are other meanings, but I can't think of it right now. And with the pink and green and the blue in this card, I'm seeing again the chakras. So that throat chakra, being able to speak your truth, that's part of that sword as well. Clearing your thoughts, speaking your truth, that communication. And we've got a lot of green and pink, that heart chakra. So going into things with your heart open and in a heart-centered way, but also being clear and being able to discern what you want and communicate what you want and say what you need, even if other people are not happy about it. Next, we have the Knight of Swords. And with this, we've got a lot of action coming into this card. Most of the knights have a lot of action. I think, is it the Knight of Pentacles, where he's just kind of like stopped. But in this, we've got action. This crow knows what they want to do. They have already moved past that page energy of trying. I see that kind of as like pre-contemplative and contemplative stages. This is where you say, I've got to change and I'm going to move. I'm going to do it. And that matches the energy. Look at these two cards of the Chariot. You have to make that decision so you can move forward. And so the horse is moving forward. The horse isn't really even looking where it's going. The crow, though, that crow is honed in. So you want to use your discernment and your intuition. That's reminding me of like a hawk, eagle, like owl, that I focused on what you're doing. The sword is right beside of him. And so definitely being able to have that clear thought, clear path and direction, knowing that there are going to be things that, like the clouds right here, the moon, you're not going to be able to determine ahead of time. Now this yellow bird, again, brings me into that solar plexus, like feeling confident, letting go of those anxieties, letting go of those worries. And then we've got a little eastern bluebird up here. And the little eastern bluebird is not in the same energy as the crow. Like, it's not in a defensive pose. It's just kind of like looking out. So I feel like with the little eastern bluebird, they can represent harmony, joy, peace, things like that, love, nurturing, that it's kind of saying we want to look at a balance. And the balance is what I've said earlier. I even have balance tattooed on my arm. Like, it's goals. Balance is goals. And so you're going to be moving forward. But like I said, moving forward with that heart center, the blue, the throat chakra, our solar plexus balanced. And then as we talked about with that wand, which comes back around even in the last tarot card that I had pulled off the deck, notice these are orangish wands. This is the orangish wand that I was talking about. These ones are darker. That sacral chakra, allowing yourself to play, allowing yourself to feel passionate about things, to feel that joy, to feel that fiery energy. We have these violet roses that have a little bit of red in them. So with that violet and that red, I'm seeing connecting crown and root chakra, like you're balanced from head to toe. And like this crow, even though they're standing up here in this wreath, it's not that you have soared above everybody, because I don't see this crow as necessarily being judgmental or blaming, because it's not even looking at these crows down here. But you're just living your life authentically. We've got the sunflower, again, that solar plexus, that confidence, that you're just confident. You're just doing the things that you feel called to do. And because you are doing that and you're taking advantage of these new beginnings, other people will follow. Like, you're attracting the people who will understand you. And it's not that you can't have the people who don't in your life, but it's understanding that not everyone is going to come along for the ride. They're not going to be a part of this journey. And so you can stay stuck and not move forward, or you can move forward. All right, so it feels like that's enough from the tarot. And it's funny, that makes sense why I had these stones beside me. So we got the blue rose quartz. So yes, rose quartz, I didn't know this until 2 years ago, I think. can come in a bluish hue. And then we've got the Aqua Aura, which is, of course, is blue as well. So we are looking a lot at that heart and throat chakra. And then with the rainbow aspect of an aura quartz, which is metal that's bonded to the crystal that creates that effect, all chakras represented. It again is balance and also new beginnings. So let's see. I feel like the Chakra Wisdom Oracle, yes. Chakra Wisdom Oracle by Tori Hartman. I should probably look at it. I'm still in that energy that I'm trying to let go of trying to not take too long on these, but at the same time, if there's a message, there's a message. And just like I said, with this Six of Wands, if people are interested, then they will be there. They will be drawn to what it is that you're doing. All right, so let's pull a few of the chakra cards. What chakras and aspects of the chakra needs to be focused on for the collective for this reading? Balance. I told you, balance. Like, that's the biggest thing. I said that throughout this reading with so many things. It's about finding that balance. Notice that these people in the foreground of the photo, they do not look content. And we've got like this kind of yellowish or orangey color. So maybe sacral and solar plexus chakra, unbalanced. Heart chakra, unbalanced. Throat chakra, still not balanced. And then we've got this person who is connected with spirit, connected with higher self, connected with the divine, whatever you want to say. They're connected with themselves. Like, that is the biggest part of it. They are connected with themselves. And this is very much so a third eye chakra card. The third eye chakra cards in this deck have the violet color. The crown chakra ones have a gray color around them, which if we get one, I can show it to you, but they are not coming up right now. 22:24 on the clock. So if you're unbalanced in these areas, which we are going to be unbalanced from time to time, but you're not working on trying to balance them, discontentment definitely follows. Anything else that needs to be a focus, or actually, let's change that. What do we need to release to find balance? What does the collective need to release to find balance? It's sticking together, but this is the one that's coming through, which is grief. And that's that heart chakra. And with that, that's grief of things that you wanted. That's grief of things that you thought that you would have. It's not even a physical loss. Sometimes it is, but not always. It's just a loss in general. And sometimes that's even having to do, like, as I see her holding the little dog, it's making me think of that inner child. Sometimes it's coming to terms with things and situations, beliefs, interactions, whether it's family or people you grew up with, whether it's within yourself, the grief of what you thought you had, what you thought would happen. And notice that there's a glow coming from her heart chakra. So in order to find that balance, we're letting go of grief. Anything else? Another heart chakra card. We're letting go of that victim mode. Understanding that, yes, some things do happen to you. Sometimes you don't have control of things. There are many things we may not have control over. But just like I said with the Seven of Cups, the decision of what you do is up to you. The choices may not be great. You may not like the things that you have. But it's understanding that if you say, there are no good choices, so there is no choice, then you've put yourself in that victim role. If you say there are not a lot of good choices, but I'm going to find one that works for me, even if it's not the best, you're taking some of that power back. For some reason, this face and the acorn with the arms reaching out, I'm seeing it as somebody just starting to grow. Like it's, ooh, that planting a seed. The Fool card, there we go. The Fool. Like, it's not that you don't have things that you need to grow. Like, this acorn is, you know, near the ground and it has the things that maybe it needs to be planted and grow. But at the same time, it's taking that chance and opportunity. Now, the other piece of this is you've got the dragon, which in this deck, the dragon is also a heart chakra card, I believe. And the dragon in this deck represents trickery. Now, for me, when I think of dragons, I think of protection. So part of it is that mindset. What is it that you believe about something? And then with the squirrel, this squirrel, what does it have in its hands? Has an acorn. So this acorn could be sitting there like, oh my gosh, the dragon is going to destroy me and the squirrel is going to take me away and eat me. And so then you're feeling like you have no choices. And so it's understanding that you are not trapped. You are not this acorn. And like I said, sometimes it's that perspective shift. Not everything is how we view it. Just because it's been that way in the past, or somebody tells you, oh, you shouldn't do that because X, Y, or Z, it doesn't mean that it'll happen to you. We have a root chakra card here, acceptance. And so often this talks about letting go of perfection or the desire for perfection. Like that this lady Cherry, she makes these pies and she wants it to be perfect. And it doesn't have to be perfect. And this is a representation of her thoughts, those negative thoughts where I was talking about sometimes we need to reframe them. So again, grounding and working on that heart chakra is part of what we're being told. All right, let me see. Do I feel like there's anything else from this deck? How do we find balance? Like, what are things that need to be brought in for that balance? We've already talked about what we let go of. So what do we need to do to find that balance? Cards are sticky. Okay, we'll take that one since it decided to kind of jump down. Ha! Perception. That's what I was talking about. Changing your perspective. And notice this bright green glowing stone. So that is heart chakra energy. Also, green and that heart chakra is associated with Archangel Raphael. So if you are into archangels, whether you have a certain religion or not, because that does not matter for the angels, Archangel Raphael may be a good angel for you to call on. He is the angel of love and healing, and so you can ask for him to help you bring more of that in. We've got this bird flying here, the butterfly, the new beginning. So we're looking at transitions and changes. We also have that gold and that violet. So again, that connection, and also working on that solar plexus, being able to feel more safe within yourself. Remembering that safety, and I talk about this even in the course, safety is something that maybe we felt like was outside of us, and we learn to create safety within us, that you're not having to try to create safety by trying to accommodate or calm or help others to change, that you're focusing on yourself and creating that safety for yourself. And then, as I talked about with the Chariot and the Seven of Wands, like all these cards and the Six of Wands, people either follow or they don't. So there will be some grief possibly with that, but it's about changing your perception. All right, anything else, Spirit, that we need in order to help facilitate this balanced state? Let's see. All right, one more shuffle. Perseverance, absolutely. And that is sacral chakra. Like I said, bringing in that joy, that passion, persisting with the things that you love, even if others don't understand it. She's got this cloak that is coming backwards. It seems like it's almost flying off backwards. There's just a lot of acceptance that I see in this card, like shedding old things, transformation, and also with this bluish color, trusting your intuition. And then also I'm seeing some throat chakra, speaking your truth. And it does look like she's embracing a version of herself and letting go of another. So perseverance, that if there is something that you want to do, regardless of what other people tell you, if you're not hurting anyone, hurting yourself, whatever, just do it. Let go of the perception of others. Let go of that guilt. That's another sacral chakra card. She is doing what is perceived to be the right thing, and she has this handcuff over here. She feels like she's just chained to it. And the other person's just doing what they want to do. Like, they're in that violet energy, maybe sleeping, maybe meditating. Looks like they may have some water. That halo, doing the thing that you feel like everybody wants you to do, or that you feel like makes you a good person but doesn't bring you joy, that you don't necessarily have to do, but you're still held up in those judgments. You're not accepting that you don't have to be perfect. It's going to keep you stuck. Persevere. Do things that you want to do and change that perspective. Those are very, very big things. Destiny is on the bottom of the deck here. Your destiny is dependent on your choices. You have free will. Even with tarot readings, I let people know, past and present, they're pretty accurate because they've already happened or they are happening. But you have the right and the free will to make choices. And being able to connect with people, whether that's your higher self or people that are able to help you with learning here on this earth or even divine, is something that could be helpful. But at the same time, understanding that you get to make the choice and that it's not right or wrong. Like down here, I'm looking at the white and the black. It's not right or wrong. The duality is within all of us. So you're going to make some choices and they don't work out the way you want them to, whether it's at fault to you or not. And there are some choices you're going to make and they're going to be very helpful. I keep looking at the feet. It's just, you've got to choose the path that you're on, and sometimes it's feeling your way along. Like I'm seeing the bare feet in this photo, and it's making me think of when you're barefoot, sometimes it's easier to feel the ground underneath you. So it's you being able to pave that path, make your way, and decide what is going to work best for you. We'll do one card from the Cosmic Records Oracle Deck. Unless more than one fly out, because sometimes I say we're going to do one card and then a whole bunch of them fly out because Spirit's like, yeah, no, we had more messages. And I'm starting to pull some of the other cards up in this. This deck is massive, so it's not very easy to shuffle sometimes. Oh. That, I hope, was not too loud on the camera. And I am losing my voice. I have been in a few situations today where I've been around a lot of dust. And so that has not been helpful, including a visit to Kerner's Folly in Kernersville, North Carolina, where my husband and I decorated a Victorian room. There is a video up on that, and wonderful place, but it does have a lot of environmental triggers for me. Knowledge. An unknown journey is calling you, and it requires new knowledge and skills. The universe always responds to those who seek wisdom. The right teacher will appear, like destiny, leading you to a higher realm of understanding. That fits in perfectly with that last card of destiny. So just be discerning of who you choose as your teachers and guides, whoever you feel called to. It's 33:33 on the clock, and we're going to end it here. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week or whenever it is for you. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you for allowing me to hold space for you. And if you would like personal reads, empathiccrow1111.com. The Grounded and Glowing course is coming along, and not this week, but hopefully within the next couple of weeks, before the end of January at least, I will have the course out and available. Thank you so much as always, and take what resonates, leave what doesn't.